Hello and welcome to an update of the Hungry Bin. So as you recall, I said last week, I believe, that I'm going to harvest this bin today. But first I want to take a look and see how these guys are doing and how much room we have here at the top, because I think I'm still going to get a lot of unprocessed compost from the bottom, and I put it right back on top. So I want to see how much room we have to work with over here. But oh my goodness, these guys are doing a great job at processing the kitchen waste. Really, really great. Yeah, they're oops, all throughout here. Yeah, plenty of wormies. Yeah, so you can see that as far as taking care of the worms, it's really not an issue with this system as with any of the other systems that I had. The worms do reproduce beautifully for me, and compost very well. The issue here is always the harvesting. Aside from the fact that I can't close the lid because they start crawling. And so if I kept this system outside, I would not be able to leave the lid open, since you can get critters in there, anything that could possibly hurt your worms as well. So it's a good thing that this is in my basement, where it's climate controlled and safe from all that. But something to take into consideration if you're wondering about this system. So the first thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to harvest, because I want to see how much room I have here for the actual food. So let's go to the bottom there. Okay, so I positioned this catch tray here at the bottom. I want to make sure that if more material falls out than is in this tray here, that I'll be able to catch it here and that it's not going to go all over the floor. Now I'm going to need both hands now to remove this bottom tray. So let me do that, and let's see what we have going on there in the tray. Okay, so it's a good thing that I put in this other bin, because when I removed the harvesting tray, I had a bunch of compost come out as well on top of that. So I put another one at the bottom there just in case. But as you can see, this is still compost, the original compost that I put in. You can see some of the twigs. And the only difference is that now it's a lot wetter, sticking to my gloves, a lot wetter than it was when I put it in. And what do we have here? Well, we have worms. So let me just scrape off some of the stuff that keep tumbling down. And I can tell you that, oh my goodness, it's a whole lot of stuff. It went all over the floor. Okay, so I'm still harvesting, and this is my, what is it, third harvest, and I harvested every 2 months since we started. So this has been going on for at least 6 months. And I wanted to actually show you the tray itself, because it's a lot wetter than this top material here that fell on it. There are, of course, a lot of baby worms in here, you can see. So they don't all like to go to the top. But you can see this is the actual material from the harvesting tray. Can you hear it? See, it's very wet. Now it doesn't smell, which is very good, because otherwise I would not have been able to put this back to the top. But there's a lot of material here, and if I put this at the top, I don't even think I'm going to have room for the food. So yeah, so this harvest we have plenty of worms at the bottom. They don't always migrate. The compost is very wet. It is still not worked over. It is still not castings, because I can see a lot of material in here. Okay, so let me get, again, both hands, and let me try and put this back to the top area of the hungry bin. So now that I have the majority of the stuff back into the bin, you can actually see it under the light. It's much better. Everything is really, really sludgy, wet. You can hear it squishing. This is not the kind of material that I like to harvest. And that is the biggest issue that I have with this system. Now, as I've said before, this system was created to give you leachate. And since I don't use leachate, and leachate is controversial in any case, then I have absolutely no idea how to make this system run drier. It's just, I've tried everything to give it really high carbon and to keep the lid off, and you know, it's just this is it. This is everything that I get at the bottom. It's for me, it's unacceptable. None of my systems, and I mean none of them, not the bags, not the vermi bags, not the urban worm bags, which are, of course, also CFT systems. None of my bins, the simple plastic totes, give me this kind of result. You see me do it over and over. Every week I bring you my routine and all my different bins, all my different systems. And I just don't have this kind of situation with any other system. So I'm going to keep going with this, because I promised, I want to see how long it's going to take for us to get to the actual castings, and not the compost that I originally started with. So this is what, 6 months, 3 harvests, and we're still seeing the compost, and wet compost at that. So I'm not going to show you the feeding, because I don't think I'm going to feed right now. I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to aerate some of this material. Maybe I'll put some bedding down, some dry bedding, and just mix it in a little bit. But yeah, here you go. One more successful harvest. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.